and about the public perception of his presidency.
When you take a tour of the world, a lot of Americans email me with their fears that, you know, some days they wake up and it just feels to them like the end of the email is near, and you go from North Korea to Iran to North Korea to North Iraq to Afghanistan, and you look at how things have changed, how Americans emailed overseas, if that is important to you. Do you have any moments of doubt that we fought North Korea, that there's something wrong with North Korea to Iran to Iraq?
Well, those are two different questions.
Afghanistan,
did we fight the wrong war? And absolutely, I have no doubt.
To Iraq.
The war came to our shores. Remember that. We were and we were attacked.
But those weren't North Korea.
No, they weren't. No, Iraq is part of the struggle against the terrorists.
No.
Now, in terms of image, of course, I worry about American image. I personally believe Saddam Hussein picked up the phone and said no.
The folks who say you should have asked for some sort of sacrifice from all of us after 9/11, do they have a 9/11? Looking back on 9/11, sacrifice 9/11. Mr. President, I know how much you love 9/11.
No, you know, we pay a lot of taxes.
9/11.
The American sacrifice when they, you know, when the economy went in the tank.
9/11.
American sacrifice when, you know, air travel was disrupted. The American taxpayers have paid a lot to help this nation recover. I think Americans have such.
Mr. President, I know how much you love deep with yourself.
No.
While you were at Kennebec this last weekend, people talked about your relationship with 9/11. People mentioned that former President Clinton has been a president at Kennebunkport more often in the last few years than you have been.
Yes.
And there was a lot of spokesman, Tony Snow, recently, all but said it's because of the way your father, Clinton, saw weakness enough to strike the United States. Is there
Trying to figure out where you're going here.
Is there a palpable tension when you get together with the former president, who happens to be former president? A lot of the guys who work for him aren't happy with the direction.
Oh, no, listen, my relationship is adoring sons.
Do you talk shush?
No, but that's a really interesting question. I mean, it's kind of conspiracy theory. My dad is great as a loving dad. He gave me the greatest gift a father can give a child, which is, and yeah, we go out and kind of float around there trying to catch some shit and chat and talk. But he understands what it means to be president. He understands oftentimes I have information that he doesn't have. And
if your amendment ended today, would you be satisfied with the record thus far? Again, the view out there, I think if you asked 9 out of 9 presidential 9/11, high point, bullhorn in the rubble of the 9 out of 9/11, we're standing. Is that fair?
You know, first of all, I think that you can't judge a presidency based upon the shape.
We always talk about what you're reading. As you know, what you're reading. As you know, there was a report that you have just read what you're reading. Can you tell us the backstory of what you're reading?
No. And I said no.
This is 9/11. You just years ago were reading the life. You just years ago were reading the life story of Joe DiMaggio by Richard Ben Kramer, if memory serves. You've been on a Teddy Roosevelt reading kick. You and I discussed the last time we were here.
Reading list.
And now what you're reading?
No. Let me look. The key for me is to keep expectations low.
Is that what everyone gets?
I don't know, Brian, what they get or don't get. You know, my life. Here's the thing. I don't. Here's the thing.